And welcome to another episode of the Football Smack Talk Show. I am your host, Ryan.
I'm Eric.
Welcome in, everybody, to another wonderful Monday edition. We are in week 3, I guess, technically, of the preseason, as we have completed 2 games. One more game left, and then we get a little week off, and then it's go time. Week 1.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's this close. I remember, the old countdowns from Eric earlier in the year, and
they seemed so depressing too when I would bring them up, and
like, only 742 more days until the Eagles' regular season.
That's an exaggeration.
A little bit. Might be a
little. I was gonna say it's like 3 years.
I mean, not quite. It's
2 years.
Yeah, but still. Well, it certainly felt like it. After such a long season, a lot of emotion, the roller coaster of everything, and ultimately coming up. It's kind of been a long one, and we here, Philly Sports Alliance Football Smack Talk Show. We took a little break for the summer. I think we, obviously right after the Super Bowl, we kind of get right into more draft stuff, free agency stuff. Like there's not a lot of break.
Yeah, there's no real lull until after you get the draft and the schedule release, and then you realize, there's like 3 months until we get any of these games, and I do know, like, one of the things, and I know we talked about this last time we were on the air 2 weeks ago. I just want to, one time, for the record, simply just say one final time.
Time.
We lost the Super Bowl. Yeah, okay, one final time. We lost the Super Bowl. Last season is over. I don't want to talk about 2022 anymore.
Can I ask you one time? I guess I probably should.
Well, this is it. Yeah, this is the last time.
I guess this is my last chance to talk to Eric about the 2022 season.
That's right.
Well, everybody, get your questions in now. Quickly.
Yeah, please flood the inbox here.
Yeah. Have you watched the game?
No.
You
haven't rewatched it.
You haven't watched highlights?
Nope.
You haven't watched? Unless, like, they happen to randomly pop up, like, play here, play there.
Look, I've been watching the show on Netflix, Quarterbacks. I'm up to the last episode.
That one,
I haven't watched it.
You haven't watched that episode?
I have not watched the last episode. I don't know. I told Jody after I watched the previous one, I just said, I'm not ready.
Yeah, I would. Honestly, it was very healing for me.
Okay.
I was the same way. I didn't want to subject myself. Hey, what's going on, buddy? Daniel Barry Sports Highlights checks in. What's going on from YouTube?
What's going on, Daniel?
I mean, listen, we're privileged and lucky to be in the situation where we are, where we can say, I don't really want to watch the highlights of a game that, ultimately we ended up losing. So,
and look, there are 30 fan bases out there that would have absolutely signed up for what the Eagles went through last year.
Yeah.
To be one possession short of the ultimate goal.
Exactly. 30 other teams would have easily signed up for that. So, Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. So
And I don't care what any Cowboy fan says. It is much better to have gotten to that game and lost in one of like even from an objective fan's point of view, which I know I'm not objective, but like I would say an objective fan would have to say that was a really exciting Super Bowl.
yeah,
And is there a non-Chiefs fan out there wwho didn't want Jalen to get the ball at the end with a chance to come down?
just a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think when you look back to the two Super Bowls that we
Mhm.
certainly have been witness to here recently, I think they've honestly been
Yeah.
again
Well, two of the better. Yeah.
effectively two of the better games. I mean,
Hmm.
there's so much back and forth in both games, and the one in 2018, Philly special, and
Yeah.
and they start coming back, and Gronk and Brady, and then the play at the end with the strip sack, and then the Hail Mary. Ah,
Yeah. Which what's his name? Robinson tried to intercept that jerk instead of just knock it down.
yeah, yeah, and then this last game again, we real close game. We're up by 10 at half, and
Uh,
some things happen, and it's a little back and forth. We go, but all counts. If you just take kind of Jalen Hurts' game overall, I mean, it's he had one of the better performances in Super Bowl history, honestly.
the guys were saying, the announcers were saying, like, look, even if the Chiefs win, does Jalen still get MVP of the Super Bowl? Like, you could have made the argument was there to be made.
Yeah, no, I mean you're right. Yeah, I think if Mahomes didn't have such a good game,
Right,
I think
right.
I think it could have easily went to Jalen. But anyway, so I would, if I were you, I would finish quarterback because again, I think it's a great series, and
Oh,
I
it's a phenomenal series.
look
Yeah,
forward
I
to
love it.
the
Mhm.
next season's episodes whenever I assume it's going to be after the season. So,
Yeah,
uh,
and
but
I was hearing that a lot of quarterbacks are declining because none of them want to be seen as the Mariota from this group.
no, geez. Um, I mean, listen. I mean, I didn't think he came off that bad, honestly.
I didn't either. I
Uh,
mean,
I think if anything, Kirk Cousins. Not. I don't think any
I
of them
don't think
came
he
out
came
bad.
across bad.
He just came
No.
out, what we all kind of assumed that he was a corny dude and like,
Yeah.
whatever. Like that's him. Like not everybody's like, the pro athlete that gets,
Well,
portrayed in movies.
I think you and I, like watching it now in our 40s, we can like appreciate and think, oh, Kirk Cousins got a good life. Like that's kind of
I would
funny.
sign up for Kirk Cousins' life easily.
Right.
First of all, wife, pretty good looking.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Couple kids, nice house. I mean,
Yeah.
except for the fact that he lives in Minnesota, but like
Well, we all got our crosses to
oh,
bear.
yeah, process to bear, but and yeah, he gets to throw to the best friggin' wide receiver in the game. Like, oh, okay, sounds good to
Yeah.
me.
Right.
Well, um, but yeah, I would highly recommend finishing it. Uh,
I will. I will at some point.
and I think that will lead you to being able to at least view like highlights. You know what I mean? Like you don't
Maybe
need to
I'll
watch.
watch it. Well, I know we got our one fantasy draft the night before the opener, but
Yeah,
I'll maybe during that week sometime. I'm sure I'll watch it.
yeah. I got. Yeah, I was gonna say, man, we
It's
really,
draft season.
we
Yeah.
really should do a fantasy show. Yeah, I got a bunch of drafts coming up.
How
So
many leagues are you in?
I don't even know at this point. I literally had to drop out of one league because I knew I would be in other leagues.
Yeah.
Um, uh, so like Ant, who you
Hmm.
from our
Yeah.
previous
All right. Yeah.
league, he had a league for a while. I was in there for a couple of years, and
Hmm.
that was the ultimate one that I chose to drop out of because again, I run the one league that we're in, and I've
Yeah.
been in the other league for 20 years, so more. I mean, yeah, geez, has it been
Yeah. I
more?
was gonna say I think I've been in that league for 20 years now.
Yeah, I think it's been. I think this is our 22nd season.
Yeah. And I
Uh,
came in like second or third
yeah,
year.
something like that. But yeah, so obviously I wasn't going to drop those.
No.
I'm in a league with our good buddy Shane and his dad and a couple other
Hmm.
people. So those were like my three main leagues, and now I'm in. A couple people just asked me to kind of be in a league. Not, I don't think it's for money or anything, but
Okay.
and we're doing one for Edge of Philly Sports. I think there's 12 of us, and we're gonna live stream it,
Nice.
the draft. So that should be fun. But yeah, ultimately, I probably won't pay attention too much to that one,
Yeah.
unless
I
like.
imagine I didn't make the cut this year to be in that league.
Well, yeah, I think it
It's
just.
fine. I'm kidding.
No, honestly, I barely made it in myself because
Yeah.
I was late to sign up. It just kind of happened. Everybody was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, are we doing one this year?" I'm like, "Okay, like sure, let's do it." And then
Yeah.
it was like, "Oh, here's the thing, I created it." And then like by the time I got in there, about an hour or two later, like I was the 11th person.
Yeah.
I was like,
There was another league I was going to be in that it was kind of the same thing. Some guy I used to work with was like, he was big time into like the sports betting, fantasy football and stuff, and like to the point where like he really did have a problem. I know you say I need 1-800 gambler, but
Listen, yes, you absolutely need help. I think a lot of people need help personally with the gambling, but yeah, I mean, listen, our other good buddy Rob, a
mhm.
big gambler,
Oh
but
yeah,
our other buddy Steve, not that Steve,
no, not swoop.
not Swoop Steve. Yeah, how can I? How basically how there's not a way for me to say his. I don't want to say his last name, but there's not a way for me to say who it is without making it weird and racial.
Okay,
That helps to determine what.
actually, I think it does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I thought.
yeah.
But anyway, he literally had like a 5 leg parlay, and
Oh,
one of the legs was a WNBA game.
I've never done that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
I still remember being around one dude who his buddy was calling him up and asking him about one of the little league teams, and it wasn't this year, but it was like
oh yeah.
years and years ago.
You theoretically can find it. It's
Yeah,
not on any of the major like betting
no,
sites, but you can
but like
find
this was before it was legal. This was like he was calling a
right.
bookie
But
and bet,
but
and
I don't technically I don't think it's legal to bet on Little League World Series.
it really shouldn't be.
It really shouldn't be. It was
Like
funny
the
because
kids haven't hit puberty yet, and you're
yeah,
gonna bet on that,
I
like
was listening to 97.5 and they were joking about it like
yeah.
people are betting on this, and then like dads would call up and be like, "Yeah, like
Mhm.
I literally for my son, he like he's 17 now, but back when he was like playing 10 and under league, we would have I would set up all these bets with the dads at the game, and so like we had like a whole sheet, and it was
Oh,
strikeouts, it was over under, it was all this stuff, and like he'd be out there collecting, and like it was hilarious. It's like wow, these people have just
I'm really glad. At least when I was playing baseball, I never knew about anything like that because I would have totally gone in and I'd have thrown a couple bets for
yeah,
some money.
yeah, I know, but yeah, no. Sadly, people are degenerates. So again, this was only kind of to highlight that you're not
Yeah,
that. You
I
could be worse.
appreciate that. No, I still need help, but I'm not
Yeah, you
that bad.
still need help, but
Yeah,
again,
yeah, yeah.
could be absolute worse. But let's
That's a
let's
great slogan to live by. I could be worse.
you could be worse. Yeah, absolutely, Eric. You absolutely could be worse. I mean, you're still pretty bad, but
No, I'm brutal, but yeah.
but yes, let's get back to the Eagles. So they had their second preseason game on Thursday. Yours truly was in attendance. It
Yeah,
is
how did Ronan enjoy it?
he. It's weird. He gets like obviously very weird and shy when he's
Hmm.
around so many people. So like he kind of just stood there and was like staring at the game, which
Hmm.
yeah, this is fine. But he started loosening up a little bit, started like dancing a little, and
Nice.
when he saw that they were showing people on the cameras and on the things, so then he was
Hmm.
trying to get on camera and stuff. So yeah, it was good. But he also when the game's going on, he has like this focus, which
Hmm.
I honestly I love. I love that for him.
That's awesome.
Where he just is like so enthralled by the game and what's going on, and
Hmm.
but yeah, so we had a great time. He lasted until the end of third quarter.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's
so
a,
then
it's a good time.
yeah, so Yeah, it's our annual birthday tradition for him. Usually there's a preseason game right on or right next to his birthday. So it's great. It's a great little tradition that I'll
Yeah,
do until he's ready to
I,
start.
I am familiar with those traditions.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, your
That's
birthday being
how I started. Yeah.
3 days prior to
Mhm.
my son's. So,
Mhm.
yeah, it'll be so. Okay, so I have a question for you, and I
Yeah.
ask dads this who bring their kids to the games. At what age do you think is appropriate for a young uh, boy to start going to real games?
I
Like, when
mean,
did you
every
start
kid's
going?
different.
You're right, but when did you start going regularly? Or when?
13. I
13?
was 13. Yeah.
When did you do you remember when your first actual regular season game was?
I think it was 13. Yeah, I think that's like the first year when I first moved up here, I turned 13 and moved up to live with my dad that summer. And that fall, I started attending regularly. Like,
Hmm.
my dad had 3 seats at the time, or 4 seats, because the guy who he originally got into it with, that he worked with, he had 2 seats, and my dad had two.
Hmm.
And so him and my uncle Nick would go. Well, there
Yeah,
were a couple times during that first year where the other guy said, "Well, he can have my seats to
right, right, yeah.
for a couple games."
Um,
And then the next year we went up to 5.
gotcha. So Top Shelf Sports Stock, thanks for checking in, pal. 5 or 6. Are you talking when to start taking the kids to the real games, or I'm not talking preseason. I'm talking to like week, regular season game
Right.
where like can be a little dicey. Uh,
Yeah, and I'll tell you what I think was the
I
bigger
think
adjustment for me
it's gotten
was the
better
bad
over the
weather
years.
games.
A what?
For me, the bigger adjustment was the bad weather games, like
Yeah,
when it
well,
was
yeah. I
cold,
mean,
and like
I
I
think
wasn't
part of it.
prepared for all that.
Yeah, I think part of it is too is you want to make sure that they're old enough to make it through the whole game.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, because my dad made it very clear to me first game. He's like, "Look, man, we don't leave till this is over."
yeah,
The
and then
first year
like
he didn't have to explain that to me because again, I was 13. Like I wasn't like 5 or 6.
right, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
then again, you also have like the tailgate aspect of
Yes.
it. Is so you were going to the tailgate
Yeah.
and out, playing around, whatever, drinking your face off at 13, totally. Yeah. Um,
You know my dad. You know I
yeah,
wasn't drinking at
yeah, I know.
13. At 15, that's a
Years
different story.
old, yes. I think if they are old enough to play in a league, they can go to the game.
I mean, I get your point.
I mean, you
Yeah, I
could be.
get your point, and that's why it's a debate. Yeah.
And I know it's certainly gotten better over the years.
Mhm.
I think when
I think the
we were
switch to the link made it a lot
yeah,
better.
I
Without
agree.
that, it would have been
I
bad.
think when we were younger, yeah, I don't think I went to my first game till I was maybe 9 or 10, and then I started
Yeah, I went to a
going
few
more on
preseason
a
games. Yeah, when we
yeah,
were
I
younger.
went to started going to more regularly when I was,
Mhm.
maybe like 12 or 13. Um, but yeah, like I don't know, like again, you're exposing to the kid to obvious foul language, which whatever. I mean, that's going to happen
Yeah, sure.
anywhere, but certainly it's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
And alcohol and drunk people and you
It's
know
funny because one time, obviously before my dad passed, but we had this conversation about when it was an appropriate time to take a kid to the game. And I remember him saying to me, he's like, I wasn't necessarily worried about me seeing anything. He was more worried about me being the one that's
instigating
causing the
it.
scene.
Knowing you, that's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, to Top Shelf Sports Talks point. Yeah, I mean, I guess it really does depend on the kid. And
Yeah.
you said if you're old enough to play in a league, well, okay, yeah, that certainly is something. But
That's one
again, I
approach.
think
And
there's
I think
there's
it's
a
case
different.
by case basis.
Well, I
Yeah.
think there's just such a huge difference between preseason and regular season.
Yeah.
Preseason is designed to bring families, to bring kids, to bring
Look, I'll be honest with
older
you. Like,
people, to
you
bring
brought me
people
out
that.
to a preseason game like right now. I'd probably last to the third quarter, and I'd be like, "Yeah, can we get out of here?"
Yeah, I mean, listen, I was there. I saw exactly the fan base.
Yeah.
It was literally kids. It was
Mhm.
families with their kids. It was like teenagers and early 20s.
Mhm.
it seemed to be a lot of young in that range, I guess. Um, and then yeah, then a lot of older, like 70, 80, 90
Yeah.
type, So it's more or less like the people that don't get a chance to go to games and maybe don't have the opportunity. That's really, and then again for the young kids, that's really kind of the preseason there. So, but anyway, yeah, but
No,
yeah,
interesting. Interesting question. Yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
that's why I take it you're debating when it would be.
Well,
When you think it would be okay to start bringing them
luckily,
into regular games?
yeah, luckily, I think I have kind of a built-in response to all this because
When does
so
Larry take his?
yeah, I
Yeah,
was gonna say like right now I share really good seats with my our friend Larry, and we're in section 109. Shout out to 109. Um, and eventually, I'm basically a seat holder. I'm holding the spot for his son, who is
so you're lobbying for like 17, 18, or
oh,
19.
absolutely, yeah, like 30,
Push that off as
percent
long
to
as you
30.
can.
Yeah, so naturally, yes. So he's like 8 or 9.
Mhm.
So I'm like 13.
Yeah, I'd say I
Like
think you've got maybe 1 or 2 years
I
left
could,
before
yeah.
Larry.
But then again, he also, you never know. With Larry and his lady, the lady could bump me out now too. So
Oh yeah,
anyway, but yeah, so I have my own season tickets up in the 200 level that I have our other buddy, our other co-host for some of our shows, Ryan, going, and he brings a buddy, or we bring a
Mhm.
mutual friend, and the two of them sit up there. Eventually, once I get kicked out, I'll be going with Ryan, and it'll be me and him going to the games, and then
Right.
eventually I'll kick Ryan out, and my son will go. So I kind of have a built-in like, hey, well, you know, your son is going at age 12. Well, okay, well then I will wait until my son is 12, kind of thing,
Right, right.
you know. But yeah,
And so then Finn has the clock in his head of
and
when
then
he has to
Sid
be
has the
doing
clock in
his.
his head, so
Yeah,
he hopefully has his name on the list. I theoretically have my name on the list, and I call every year to see if I can get
yeah.
push
Bump
it
up.
from 2 to 4 tickets, or if I can even get closer, or maybe I'd kind of want to maybe move a little bit closer to where our other seats are at 109. So like even if
Mhm.
something a
Even
little
if
bit,
it was like 209 or something,
yeah.
whatever, right above that. Yeah.
Top Shelf says kids nowadays see drinking, cursing, and things like that on the internet every day, so they think. So I think they would be fine. I mean, that's sadly, you're
And
kind of not wrong.
yeah,
You're kind of not
again,
wrong.
yeah, again, I'd say case by case basis because I mean I don't know what like I'm not there with you. I don't know what Ronan's looking at on the internet.
Oh yeah, he actually is just a huge fan of bum fights. Just
Nice, my man.
I quite literally, I'm so bad. I don't even let him watch YouTube.
No, that's I don't think that's bad at all. I think that's good parenting.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's so much creepy, crazy stuff, like things that
Yeah.
look like they're designed for kids that you pop into, and it's.
Hmm.
But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, let's talk about the game.
Yeah.
Eagles tie, fantastic. Yay. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but I will say, looking at this team, a few things stood out. Tanner McKee clearly was a great pick, sixth rounder. Ian Book, bye bye.
Yeah.
I would assume they're going to be keeping 3 quarterbacks now, with McKee certainly making the push.
Yeah, and Mariota
Mariota,
probably.
as Top Shelf said earlier, Mariota looked like Ian Book, which I guess technically isn't wrong because he did not look good. But listen, it's preseason. You're getting used to new offense, new coordinators, new playbooks. Like, I'm not worried about it. I've seen
Yeah.
what Mariota can do in the league, and for what we need him to be, for what we may eventually only need him to be, it's perfect. He can, again, coming at the end of the game, when we're killing,
Hopefully, yeah.
or again, maybe the last game of the regular season, come in, play a game,
Hmm.
be fine. So again, I'm not overly
Yeah,
worried.
hopefully that's all you're asking him to do.
I know a lot of
You're not asking him
people,
to play
yeah, a
unique
lot of
plays.
people are are being serious. Unfortunately, Chris checks in. Thanks, buddy. I was going to say I haven't talked to you in a
The
while.
only way I want
In a
them to
while.
do that is if it's to the 1 day
Oh,
contract
they
for him to
will. I think
retire.
they will.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tanner McKee is going to have more downfield throws in 2023 than Daniel Jones. Wow, it's not that
I don't
hard.
like that idea.
I don't like that idea either, technically. Top Chef loving the Foles comment. Yeah, listen, I got it. It's fun to think about it. People are even saying Carson Wentz for crying out loud. Um, Mariota's
Not me, guys.
no,
Not me.
Mario,
I'm not saying that.
listen, Mariota's gonna be fine. Like,
Yeah.
settle down. We have such a love affair, an obsession with our backup quarterback. Like everybody, take a step back. Like, calm it down. Like, this is literally
I would love to remind everybody, and now I know the hardcore fans like you and all our watchers here would they all know this. But do you know in 2017 the number of snaps in preseason that Nick Foles took? Give up 0.
big
And all
good.
he did was Super Bowl MVP, led the that little thing. So let's just relax. It's preseason. And like you said, Marcus Mariota, he's learning this offense. And okay, so he has some growing pains. Like,
Yeah, he hasn't looked great. I'll admit that.
okay,
I'll admit that he has not looked great.
sure.
But again, I'm hoping
I'll
that
still trust his overall body of work and his
yeah, I don't.
scheme
I
because of
hope
that.
I we don't. I hope we never have to see him
Yeah.
in anything that's even remotely meaningful. So if that's the case, he can come in at garbage time. He can come in at the end of the regular season when we've already locked out the 1 seed. Great, go for it.
I'm all for that scenario
Yeah,
where
who cares? You throw a goose egg, you're fine. I
yeah,
don't.
in January in the Meadowlands, we've already locked up the number 1 seed. Marcus
Right.
Mariota starts that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be fine for it. Yeah.
So yeah. So outside of that, I thought Trey Sermon looked pretty good, but
Hmm.
again, he has such an uphill climb to make this team. It's unfortunate. I don't see him making the team.
Yeah, I don't either.
Fumble certainly didn't help, but he certainly redeemed himself. Um, I thought some of our wide receivers were halfway decent. Cleveland looked good until he got hurt.
The,
Ngata looked pretty decent. He, may have an outside chance to make that last slot for wide receivers. Um, but yeah, I think I was really just impressed with the defense as far as Nolan Smith looked like he was getting out there, getting to the quarterback.
can we talk about how good Sidney Brown looked?
So, I mean, I was gonna say I'm about to get there.
Yeah,
Uh, Jalen Carter, just
yeah.
I mean, the
He's
dude
had himself a great preseason.
is a monster. I cannot wait to see him out there for the regular season. Yeah, Nakobe Dean, again, finally got his chance to play this week. Forced fumble, had a few tackles, wasn't in there for long, but did rather
Yeah.
well. And you know who else I will say before I
Hmm.
get to Sidney Brown? Zach Cunningham.
Yeah.
Dude
Zach
was a
Cunningham
worker.
had a nice game, too.
Honestly,
Hmm.
I always pay attention when I'm at a game like that,
Hmm.
where like either I hear somebody's name like a lot, or I'm just constantly seeing somebody
Hmm.
all over the field. That was Cunningham and Brown to another point, but that was Cunningham for me. He was flying around, just making tackles left and right, being in the play. Like this dude again, coming off of the streets, coming in with Miles Jack, who inadvertently just decided to retire. I don't know whether
Yeah.
that was more of a, oh man, I don't have it, or I'm not going to make this team, or what. But you know,
Yeah, it could be a face saving move.
yeah, right. So
Making
he
a team.
decided, which sucks because I was excited for him, but
Yeah.
Cunningham, I feel like is who I thought Jack was going to be. So Cunningham's, seems to be a lock on this roster with Dean, and they may be the starters moving forward. But yeah, Sidney Brown again looked really good. Hell, Zach McPherson looked really good before he got hurt, and
Yeah,
unfortunately,
that's a shame.
yeah, he's unfortunately out for the year. He'll be, he was injury released, so he'll come back on to the fold here. Um, but yeah, Sidney Brown, man, he's a thumper. And God knows that Philadelphia Eagle fans love a good hard hitting safety. And
It's funny. and his name's escaping me. The color commentator for the Eagles
Ross
preseason.
Tucker.
Yeah, Ross Tucker was talking about. He was having a conversation with Sidney Brown. I know you were at the game, so you didn't hear about this one, but so Ross Tucker asked him, he's like, "Well, how do you feel about possibly playing special teams?" And Sidney Brown, he said his eyes lit up and goes, "I bleep in love special teams."
Really?
Yes, and he's just like, it was exciting to see a young player that took that approach.
Wow.
That was just like
You
that.
look-
Like, not only was good at it, but thoroughly enjoys it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Top shelf. A lot of injuries in that game. Yeah, sadly.
Yeah,
That's again another reason why you don't play your starters. Are you guys worried about the Nolan Smith shoulder injury? No, it doesn't seem like it's that severe at all, from what I've read.
I'll be honest. I kind of like that he got a little taste of what it's like to play in the big time without something serious happening.
Yeah,
I feel like
I
it's a
think what's likely to happen
yeah,
is obviously he won't play this upcoming week. So
yeah. It gives the team a good
get
excuse to say you're not playing this week.
he'll basically get like 3 weeks off until
Yeah,
from the time of that game last Thursday to the first game, week one. So he'll have a bunch of weeks off. Now, obviously, he'll probably get out there and practice and whatnot. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it's a major injury or anything like that. I'm not too worried about it. I still think he'll be a good contributor in the rotation on that defensive line. And
man, they
yeah, I'm
love the
excited.
rotation.
Yeah, I'm excited to kind of see him,
Mhm.
Carter, Jordan Davis, all of them. Honestly, I think the defensive line. Well, I think a lot of people are focusing on the fact that we lost Hargrave, and he had such a great season last year. Again, we're replacing him. We basically got the best player in the draft in Jalen Carter.
And with the younger version of Javon Hargrave.
Right. And we, got another edge player that we were considering taking at number 10, when
Yeah.
we originally had it. So yeah, again, I'm not necessarily worried about it. We're paying less money than we certainly would have to Hargrave, and we got a lot younger. And we're going to need that because Cox, Graham, Lane Johnson, Kelsey, the
Oh yeah, yeah.
workmen, so to speak, the OGs that have been on this team for forever, are going to need to be
Viewers.
replaced at some point. Now,
Hmm.
obviously, we seem to have a few of their replacements already on the squad, but not everything is always works out. So you're always constantly looking to improve that. So I'm happy where this team is right now, roster wise, and again, I hope a couple things work out. And yeah, I'm kind of really excited to kind of just I think I'm at the point now where I'm like, all right, I've had enough. Let's let's get to the regular season. Let's get to the Patriots. I want to see Bill Belichick. I want to see that defense. And yeah, I just want to ruin Tom Brady's night.
Yeah, seriously, like they're going to be honoring Tom Brady that night. Like,
Yeah.
how do we not like just even if it's just for one day, just sign Nick Foles as a backup just to come out there and suit up? Be like, oh yeah, hi Tom, I beat you in a Super Bowl.
Oh my God, wouldn't that be fantastic? If
Just
like Nick Foles came out,
control the Patriots.
Foles came out like for the like the coin toss or something, or
Oh look, it's Tom Brady's daddy.
the captain's meeting, right? A little
Yeah.
old school job, or at least like when it's happening, you just show Nick going, waving and being like, "You want a handshake or?"
Are we still doing that, or no? No. Oh, okay, maybe later.
Yeah. So, um, but yeah, yeah, that was funny. But yeah, I'm kind of over it now. I really just kind of want to see how this roster shakes out.
Yeah.
I think we've answered a lot of the questions on who should be on this roster, and yeah, I mean,
To me, my favorite debate to have like right now is just should they need to get rid of preseason?
I
Just
mean, listen, preseason is for the back end of the roster.
that's what those like have more joint
Well,
practices.
and that's I think that's what we've been talking about is
Yeah.
Sirianni and the coaching staff kind of view those more as the preseason kind of
Yeah.
games. See how you're looking against competition. And what did we hear all week? Is Jalen Hurts has looked great, and Reed Blankenship is picking off Deshaun Watson, and Jalen Carter knocked over All Pro Joel Batonio on his ass. Like
I heard the Eagles were taking some shots to Watson and talking trash to him about all the massages and
oh really?
yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's
that's to
fantastic.
be expected. Like, sorry.
Wasn't that injury is what hurt his draft position? Um,
I feel like it was more the off the field stuff people were worried about, like
yeah,
his
no, I
maturity.
don't think that's the reason why he kind of fell personally. But listen, I mean,
Teams are worried about the maturity. Like that's just I think what it
yeah,
is.
I can't. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
Nolan Smith.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Sorry, I knew what he meant. You obviously didn't.
No, I did not. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, no, I got that one wrong. I'll take that. That's fine.
all right, Eric. You're, I gotta kick you out of here.
Bye, guys.
If I can figure out how to do this.
Can't
Yeah, I don't want to kick you from the whole thing. I just want to put you in the back into the green room.
you do that?
I don't. I'm sure I can, but I don't know if this will do that. Hold
No.
on. I guess we'll see. Hop back in if I kick you out.
All right.
Let's see. Did that work? Oh yeah, it did. Oh good. And Eric's sitting in the green room. You're in timeout right now, buddy. Yes. No, I knew you meant Nolan Smith. No, I don't necessarily think that's why he fell personally, but all right, we'll bring Eric back. Hey Eric, how are you?
How you doing? Yeah, I
Uh,
think that was the reason why he fell in the draft was just kind of a mixture of what where teams sought value and I think that was a byproduct of how deep that defensive end group was in this past draft.
yeah,
That's why Nolan Smith fell a little bit because like everybody just figured, well, why am I going to take Nolan Smith when there are five other defensive ends right here that are kind of ranked all together? So let me take this guy at this other position that maybe isn't as strong as the defensive end group.
yeah. No, agreed. So, well, yeah. Listen, I'm at this point now, yeah, where I'm ready to rock and roll, man. Like
Yeah,
as we said, fantasy drafts are happening all over the place, left and right. I think. Um, what we have? I think I have my first official one. Might be the Labor Day Sunday. So I always try to draft as late as I can.
sure.
But yeah, I think
Was it Saturday or Sunday? Was
Sunday.
our
Sunday.
Sunday? Okay.
Oh boy.
I don't know why. Well, I was going to show up somewhere on Saturday. Just
Oh boy.
yeah.
That always scares me whenever you're like, wait, it wasn't this, it was that. God help us. I am drafting you an all kicker team then if you don't show.
Oh no, I'll be there. I will definitely be there.
Well, the
I'll
goal,
show up at both days if need be.
well, the goal hopefully is we'll be drafting in the pool,
Yeah.
and then Steve, who is our last place finisher, will be sticker bitch basically.
Well, yeah, he's got to. Yeah,
He'll write in
yeah.
the draft so he can stay nice and dry, and we'll be floating on pool floaty thingies and having fun, drinking some beers in the
No,
pool.
well, Jess really go like because Jess has to name his team. It should be harsh with the team name, right?
Well, yeah, Shane's going to help,
Okay. Okay.
but also I have a few things that need to be added this year
Yeah.
because we've had a few too many last to first.
Worst to first. Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah. So I think we might get away with the. Uh, I think we might go back to the random draft position.
I'd be in favor of that. I was okay with trying it out with the reverse finish, but I do feel like that,
I just feel like
especially in
too
our
much
league.
advantage. Like Steve basically now is going to get Bijan Robinson,
Right.
and he already has Brees Hall. He already has a couple other good players. Like he's going to
He's poised to go from worst to first again.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much, and he's already done it.
Yep.
He literally went from worst to first to worst.
Yeah.
So anyway, so yeah, listen, one more game, one more preseason game this Thursday. If anybody wants tickets, let me know. I have tickets and a parking pass. I'll gladly part ways with them. Reach out.
Yeah. I actually sold mine for like $15 or something. Like, yeah.
15. Oh wow.
Yeah.
I was trying to get like 50 for all, but again with the parking
With
pass,
the parking pass,
right?
yeah,
You're
yeah,
gonna almost pay 50 almost in parking anyway, so like
right.
it's a pretty good deal, right? We'll see if anybody ever takes me up on that, but yeah. So we'll. Oh, and listen, I know we're usually just a Philly, Eagles show here, but I will say, as far as football is concerned, Saturday,
Yeah, college football.
football first week zero. Notre
That's
Dame,
right.
maybe, and then USC and what is it, San Jose State,
Yeah,
something like that. So speaking of,
yeah,
uh,
we've got something going on.
yeah, tonight at 9 on this channel right here and on Edge of Philly Sports, we are going to be debuting our college football show, our weekly college football show with Dibes and myself, where we're going to just talk about the upcoming week's matchups, what we're looking forward to, in the game. We're going to take it from a kind of an NFL draft prospect type of angle where we're going to look at the players who are going to be featured in this upcoming year's draft. Players that we have already, scouted and done shows on. I think
Mhm.
that me and Dives were talking earlier today. I think we're up to almost about 120 prospects fully scouted, and we've done shows on. So yeah, so if you are a big draft guy and you just love kind of diving your all the way in, head on over to not only to either Philly Sports Alliance but on our Facebook page or Edge of Philly Sports YouTube. Which thank you very much for those of you who are joining us from the Edge of Philly Sports YouTube. Thank you. Please head on over there and start searching for the NFL draft stuff because we did, like top tens for each of the major five, conferences. We
Mhm.
did, Dives put together all these wonderful videos of, top five positional groups and it's so much stuff. I absolutely love it. So we did a bunch of shows and yeah, so all that stuff's out there for your viewing pleasure. So certainly take a look at it, give it a like, follow, share, all that fun stuff. So yeah, so we're gonna start the weekly show tonight, every Monday at 9. Yeah, I mean, honestly, right now it's again, this is kind of a ramp up to the football season, and obviously this show will be every Monday at 6. We'll have the weekly college football draft prospect show
Mhm.
every week on Monday at 9. Then tomorrow we'll have the Birds of the Round Table at 8. There is a rumor potentially that the Philly broadcast might be coming back. We've been on a little bit
Ooh.
of hiatus. Again, tends to happen through the summer. Hey, what's going on, Pat? What's going on, buddy? How are you? So yeah, so we have that going on Tuesdays. Wednesday is the TLC podcast with Eric and Mike talking all things wrestling. Also, you'll find on our Facebook page, The Edge of Philly Sports Party on Broad, which I'm a part of now as well. Um, so yeah, I mean, there's constant stuff coming through. So honestly, the best way is get on YouTube, follow us, Philly Sports Alliance, follow Edge of Philly Sports, and then on Facebook, follow us, put on the automatic notifications because all of the Philly Sports Alliance shows, all of the Edge of Philly Sports shows, they all come through our Facebook. So you put on those notifications, you'll get a little pop up saying Philly Sports Alliance is live, and you'll never know what you're gonna get. You pop in there and you know crazy amounts of stuff. So you got like Phillies post game live shows. You have hockey was still doing stuff on prospects,
Yeah,
NFL draft stuff, college football. I mean, Philly sports has crazy. Even
yeah.
just
I know once the NBA season starts again, I know
yeah,
we'll
they
get
Yeah, they
the
do
post
the
games.
post game lives, and that's another thing we're doing for the football season is we're going to have a pregame, we're going to have a halftime, and we're going to have a post game show. So I know I'm going to try and be a part of that as much as I can. When we are at the games, I'm going to be kind of a little bit of a man on the street, talking to the people, tailgating, talking about the game. So interviewing people pre game show, so hopefully you'll see kind of some of my stuff, there. Hopefully, I won't get too drunk while interviewing people. No promises.
I'm hoping you do.
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah,
it would just make for better TV, So,
absolutely.
but yeah, so can't wait for that. Can't wait to get out there. Can't wait for Minnesota. We're going, Erica. I'm pretty sure I told you, right? Did we sign you up? You didn't sign up. Did you sign up? I don't
For
know.
what?
New York Jets.
No, I've not signed up for that. All right. When is that game?
October 15th, I think.
Okay. I'm in.
Book ASAP if you
Okay.
can. Yeah, so a bunch of us from Philly Sports Alliance, from Edge of Philly Sports, a couple of friends of mine, a couple of that, there's so many people that are going to the Jets game through Philly Sports Trips, which if you've never experienced Philly Sports Trips, I don't know what else to tell you. You've been missing out. It is truly it's truly just amazing. Like, we went down there last year for the Commanders game to
Yeah.
DC. Now DC is such a shithole.
Oh
Such
God, yeah.
worst stadium ever. It's like falling apart. But we take an early ass charter bus in the morning. There's booze. There's food
Yeah,
on the
we were drinking on the bus.
bus
Yeah.
down. You get off the buses. They're nice buses, comfortable seats.
Hmm.
You get off and you just kind of like go down this row, and it's just tables on all sides, and it's just every table is a different style of like booze that you could
I
think.
just hope we get those filet sandwiches again.
Well, they are. It's the same catering company, and
Yes.
they are doing the filet mignon sandwiches. Uh,
Nice.
so yeah, so it's I had a way too many Bloody Marys last
I
time.
want you to have even more Bloody Marys in the New York trip because yes, I want unconscious Ryan.
Mike, our good buddy Mike, armpit capital, absolutely.
Yes.
Uh,
Agreed, Mike.
but yeah, it was absolutely awesome. So we're going out to the New York Jets game. See Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. Hopefully, we can keep our streak alive against the Jets, never losing to them. Um, and yeah, it's going to be very similar. It's 350 total, 99 deposit down. Tax all.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's charter bus up and back, booze, food, like nice food, nice booze,
Yeah.
DJ playing music the whole time, doing different great things. There's former Eagles are going to be there. Hollis Thomas is there. That man just kind of plops his ass down and
Good
just
for
kind of
him.
sits and chills. Um, Fourth and John guys, like I said, Edge of Philly Sports, a whole bunch of Philly Sports guy, and some of the 97.5, the Fanatic guys are going to be there. So yeah, highly recommend. Go on to phillysportstrips.com. Book it now before it gets sold out, because I'm telling you, Eric, I try to do it ASAP, because from what I hear, it's close.
Okay.
But yeah, we have probably about 15 to 20 people right now that are all kind of under the Philly Sports Alliance.
Nice.
So yeah, so if you're gonna book it all up at the bottom and ask you how you heard about it.
Philly
Just
Sports Alliance.
put Philly Sports Alliance. That way we can all kind of be put together. We can all
Yeah.
hang out. Mike, dude, if you could come, that'd be fantastic.
Oh,
I'd
that'd
love to
be
hang out with
awesome.
you again, dude. Yeah, and anybody who listens either live right now or later on, and don't
Yeah,
worry,
you're all invited.
yeah, we'll talk about this, every week probably. But yeah, Philly Sports Trips, Vince and everybody there really puts on a fantastic show. It leaves right next to the stadium. I mean, there are a couple other options, like if you live in Jersey or upstate Pennsylvania. Um, Different, very,
Yeah, but to me, like especially for us where we live, it just makes so much sense.
it just
Just hop on that bus, take the bus up.
well, that's the thing. Each place has their own bus
Okay.
location. It's just, obviously it's different.
Right, right, right.
So yeah, typical ones. You leave from the stadium, right next to the stadium. You head up. They'll give you all the information. They'll give you the bus number, and the whole thing is
Nice.
very coordinated. You hop on the bus. It's pitch black. You're so early in the morning, but it doesn't matter. And you're going down there. It's a quick trip up to New York. Um, and yeah, it's awesome. But they do have the bus trip to DC again. They have a bus trip to the Giants game. Um, so and maybe again in the future if we play the Ravens, there'll probably be a bus trip. Um,
I'd be interested in that one in a couple years.
yeah,
Yeah,
Pittsburgh. I don't know. That might be a long bus trip, but you never know.
6 hours. Yeah,
Yeah, that's too long.
yeah.
They'd probably just fly there. But anyway, yeah,
I'd
Philly
be interested in
sports.
that too.
Yeah, phillysportstrips.com. Go on there, click on the trips. You can see all the Eagles games. Head on down, like I said, to the Jets. Book it up. It's like 102 total, maybe with tax and everything, for a deposit. They'll, again, you'll pay the rest shortly thereafter, and then yeah, they'll give you all the information. But it's like primo catering, all you can eat, primo booze, all you can drink. Where you just want to pound some beers, you want to go fancier, morning style. They got, you know, Bloody Marys, mimosas, Bellinis, whatever you want to do in the morning.
Nice.
Um, mixed drinks, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I just like my beer at that time in the morning.
Nah, dude, bloodies all day.
Buddies.
They were so good. They were too good.
Oh, I know you love Bloody Marys.
Yeah, let's just say Shane, who we went with last year, he was like, as long as you're not sitting next to me in the stadium, because I passed out on him.
Yeah.
And like the first quarter, I
Yeah.
rallied though. I
You
was
definitely did rally. You woke
up
up and got with it. Yeah.
so. But anyway, yeah, it was so much fun. So I
Isn't
highly
that a
recommend it.
4 o'clock game too?
What?
Isn't that
Yeah.
a 4 o'clock game?
That's just a 4 game too. So I hope we leave. I hope we leave so early.
I was gonna say, I hope we leave the same time as we did for the Washington 1 o'clock game.
Absolutely. So, but yeah, Vince and everybody at Philly Sports Trips are just do such a fantastic job. I cannot say enough about them. We were out there in Arizona when we played the Cardinals last year. Partied out with them. Again, they put on such a great tailgate party. So much fun. So, but yeah, come on, join us again when you book it. At the bottom, and asks you how you heard about it. Put other right in Philly Sports Alliance, with or without hotel. No, it's the same.
Yeah, that would be a day trip to New York.
Day trip. Yeah, we go up, watch the party, watch the game, come back, same night. So yeah, it's a good point.
I would have to take the next day off from work.
Oh yeah, I mean I definitely did too, but yeah. So make sure you write in Philly Sports Alliance. That way they'll try to put us all on the same bus, and we can kind of have a nice, cool bus ride down or up, I should say.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Listen, we definitely didn't get into most of what we wanted to talk about, but that usually is our shtick.
Yeah, we normally have like a list of things we want to hit.
Yeah, we always have like, boom, let's hit this, let's hit this, let's hit this, and maybe we get to like one or two, and then just.
Yeah.
So we'll save it for next week.
Yeah, we'll head down the rabbit hole.
Down that rabbit hole, but yeah, I want to obviously thank so many people. Obviously, Philly Sports Trips. Want to shout out to Six Pack Coverage, who we are streaming right now on their YouTube and their Twitter or X or whatever the hell it's called right now.
I don't know what that's called. Yeah,
we're a part of the Six Pack Coverage Network. They do everything, not only sports, but they do food and fitness and travel, lifestyle stuff, finance stuff. Like they have something for everything, honestly. And they also have this really cool college network where they basically have team on the ground, boots on the ground at all major universities. And they're just pumping out stuff. So if you're a big Instagram person, that's where I highly recommend you follow anything Six Pack Coverage. Good quality content there. But yeah, we are officially us and our sister network CEV bringing Philly down to Tennessee and Six Pack Coverage. So. Then last but not least, head on over to la-terrain.com, the official sponsor of the Philly Sports Alliance. Site-wide discounts, enter code PSA. Insane watches, not insane prices. Really luxury stuff. I have 3 watches from them. They are fantastic. A pair of sunglasses, which honestly I think I might get a couple more because I love them. So I highly recommend if you're looking for like a really nice watch, but don't want to spend mulatto money. You know what I mean? Go to
Ooh.
La Terrain, la-terrain.com. A lot of bunch of really good options there, stuff for the ladies as well. So check them out. Use code PSA for any site-wide discount. So yeah, that is it for us. Please make sure you follow us and all of our sponsors, especially Edge of Philly Sports. Um, we stream on their YouTube. They stream on our Facebook. It's really nice partnership. So shout out to all of the Edge of Philly Sports people. Absolutely love working with them. And I'm just super happy to be kind of involved in some of the shows with them. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the Eagles game coverage that we have set up. So anyway, that's it for us. It is 7 o'clock, and I'm starting to get hungry. So we're gonna bounce on out of here. I will see you in 2 hours for our NFL draft, college football weekly show at 9 o'clock. Dibes, and yeah, we'll see you throughout the week. Birds of the Roundtable, TLC podcast, Party on Broad, what you name it. Follow here, and we'll have it for you. So, Eric, anything to add before we get on out of here?
No.
Well said. All right. Well, we are going to get out. Thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate all the people that popped in, not only from the wonderful Facebook groups, Twitch. We always seem to have that one person that watches on Twitch. I have a sneaky suspicion that it might be Shane.
Thanks, Shane.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
thank you, appreciate it. But also, of course, all of our YouTube watchers, thank you as well. So we'll see you guys next week. We'll talk about preseason week number 3, the final game, and we'll probably talk a little final rosters. Anything that we may have seen and what to look forward to for week 1. If we can, fit it all in and we don't go on a tangent again. So, but yeah, that's it. That's us. Thank you guys. Appreciate the love, support, like, follow, share, comment, hit all the buttons that it tells you just blindly and hard and fast. So, thank you. We're out of here. So, for the Football Smack Talk show, I'm Ryan.
I'm Eric. Happy football, everybody. Only 17 more days to go.
17
20 for the Eagles.
How many for the Eagles?
20.
Is it 20?
Yeah.
Brian Dawkins. Mike,
Right.
love you, buddy. Michael Williams, appreciate it as well. Yeah, we'll see you guys. Listen, we only got Dawkins days away. Love it. All right, let's go. Go Birds.
Go Birds.